SR93 Boxing, I'm back with a quick video. Dereck Chisora versus Dillian Whyte. Or Dillian Whyte versus Chisora, it doesn't matter. See, the Joshua fight versus the Molina fight was the main event, but it was when going up to the fight. The press conferences, the gloves are off, and knowing the stylistic, the style that both fight in, you already know that this should have been the main event, even though they're not on the level of Anthony Joshua. Neither of those guys, and they showed that, especially Dillian Whyte. He went up against Anthony Joshua and got knocked out. He had a good fight, but yeah. So Dereck Chisora, Dillian Whyte. This was the fight that everyone was looking forward to. It made, this was the reason. This fight was the reason why this event, the UK boxing event that took place, the Joshua Molina undercard, was great. That's the only reason. Other than that, it would be a dull, really dull card. Dull event. Who do you thought win? I thought Chisora won that fight, to be honest. It was a very close fight, so I couldn't really blame robbery, because a close fight can swing either way. There's loads of close rounds, but keep in mind, this is, even though it wasn't really a robbery, I kind of thought Chisora really should have won that, even though it was close, because maybe I'm biased, but if you think about it, Chisora hurt, I know Dillian Whyte was landing a lot of punches, but they didn't have a lot of, see, he had sting on some of those uppercuts and some of those right hands that he was landing, but a lot of those punches that he was landing were jabs, and didn't have a lot of sting on it. It's just to keep him at bay, keep him at a certain distance, and just gauging the range, to be honest. Chisora was hurting that guy. Chisora hurt Whyte way more than Whyte hurt Chisora. And to a point where I feel like Whyte was almost out of there. Chisora was putting a hurt on this guy. Honestly, Chisora was I thought Chisora should have won the fight. It was a very close fight. I'm not complaining in the knockout, but I just felt like Chisora deserved it. And to be honest, people are gonna look at the box rec and think, oh, Chisora has 7 losses. Whyte has what, 2? No, 1. But Chisora's far from a 7-loss guy. I feel like he deserves to win. I wish he won. Maybe it's just bias in me, but Chisora gave big fights. He kept taking losses, but he didn't care. He gave big fights. He fought Tyson Fury twice. He fought David Haye. He fought Pulev. And Pulev's not the world beater, but he fought them. He fought Klitschko. I mean, you can't take nothing away from... this guy, he's willing to fight everyone. And I feel like this guy won the fight today. He was hurting. I feel like the reason why the judges gave it to Whyte is simply because Whyte had a lot of output overall, I guess, because but a lot of them were jabs. They weren't really jab is the most important punch in boxing, but it's not, when landed, a jab is not as effective in terms of as it shouldn't be scored as high as a power punch. And Chisora was landing a lot of hurtful, meaningful power punches. A lot. He hurt Whyte, as I said, more than Whyte hurt him a lot more times. And I couldn't ignore that. That's the main reason why I gave it to Chisora. And also body shots. A lot of judges, I feel, do not score. Those body shots were really taking, he was digging into the body really well. Chisora, man, they both gave the heart and soul in the ring. It was a great fight. Heavyweight fight of the year. It must be. Heavyweight fight, best heavyweight fight since, man, I can't even remember. Since when? I guess David Haye, Dereck Chisora fight was the other fight. That was real. I was so excited for. I can't think of another fight that I was so excited for other than that. David Haye, Dereck Chisora, Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte. I mean, this still both involves either Chisora or Whyte. But in terms of excitement in the ring overall, I think this was better than those two fights. They both showed a chin, man. They both got knocked out in the past, but they both showed a really good chin. I was surprised Dillian Whyte was able to take some of those shots, some of those left hooks and stuff. Dereck Chisora as well, man. Those uppercuts that he was taking while he was leaning down, from the early rounds. It was one of the best fights I've seen. Definitely fight of the year, in my opinion. Heavyweight fight of since, in this decade, from 2010, there hasn't been another heavyweight fight, in my opinion, as good is that. Not in terms of level of fights, not in terms of, it wasn't the slickest fight and everything, but it was a great fight to watch. You name me, how many fights where there's a beef before the fight, there was that all that trash talking and stuff, and then there was so much trash talking. The trash talking was through the roof. And a lot of times some of these fights, when they go into the real fight, it doesn't live up to the hype. This one did. And how many heavyweight fights do you know that are like that, but they did not live up to the hype? Many, 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 especially in our time, especially of our like current time. But that one lived up to the hype and some more. Chisora did better than I thought. I predicted Whyte to win. But I did mention that Chisora will probably give him a better fight than people think, because he's fired up. And also, see, like, Chisora had problems with people with a height and things like that against Tyson Fury, and also people who keep their range well. Tyson Fury, Pulev, Klitschko. But Dillian Whyte, I mean, I know he has a longer range than Chisora, but he wasn't like a taller man. Even if they were close, height was very similar. The height was very similar, and yeah, Chisora's not. Sorry, Whyte is no 6'6", 6'7" guy. No, so I knew it would be a great fight. It was a better fight than I thought. Definitely fight of the year. I'll probably watch it again just for the heck of it. So yeah, man. I'm happy. I'm from the UK, obviously, and I want all boxers, all fighters, to do well. But UK been doing really well recently. We got bigger fights coming up as well. I mean, Anthony Joshua, Klitschko. I'm happy for my UK fight fans. Boxing's alive, man. Boxing's alive, and heavyweight boxing is alive thanks to the UK. But that's not to say the US hasn't got any heavyweight fighters. You got Deontay Wilder there. You got for good fighters, man. You still got Klitschko there somewhere, trying to fight Joshua. But you'll be at Wembley? O2? I can't remember, man. I might actually go. Let's see. I'm SR93 boxing. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the fight. Who you thought won? Chisora, Whyte, and why? I'm SR93 boxing. I'm out.